It's my pleasure to introduce this year's distinguished alumnus and your commencement speaker, Ralph Opacic. Ralph, who received his bachelor's in music in 1981 and a teaching credential in 1982, is a proven natural leader in arts education. He founded the Orange County School of Arts in 1987, and today the Santa Ana Public Charter School ranks in the top 3% of California high schools. It's been recognized as a model arts education program by the U.S. Department of Education and the National Endowment of the Arts. For his leadership, Ralph has received numerous accolades, including Excellence in Entrepreneurship Award by the Orange County Business Council, the Jeffrey Lawrence Award, the most coveted award presented to an arts administrator by the Art Schools Network. In 1990, he received his master's in education, actually in educational administration, from National University. In 1994, his doctorate in education from the University of Southern California. And now, Dr. Opacic, please step to the podium to receive your Distinguished Alumni Award. I think they're going to do a quick picture here. Yes, I see.
Good morning. One of the things that happens when you become distinguished is you need glasses to read your notes. President Alexander, Provost Parra, Dean Miles, distinguished faculties and graduates of the class of 2013, I thank you for this honor. But before I begin, I have to make a confession. I have no idea who gave my commencement address in 1981 when I received my bachelor's degree, and I certainly have no idea what they talked about. I have no idea who spoke at my commencement ceremony when I received my master's in 1990, and again, have no idea what they said. But in 1994, I do remember who gave the commencement address. It was George Lucas. And I can remember at the time, I thought that was so cool, but as I stand here before you, I cannot remember one thing George Lucas said at that commencement address. So with that in mind, I would like to thank Dean Miles and the College of the Arts for inviting me to give this keynote address. And since it's likely 30 years from now, none of you will remember the next few minutes. I'll be brief. As I reflect on my career since graduating from Cal State Long Beach, I would like to share with you what I have found to be, in my opinion, the cornerstones of success, at least for me. And they are passion, dedication, perseverance, and vision. First, passion. I graduated from Lake Braddock Secondary School in Burke, Virginia in 1978. Any other graduates from there? Prior to graduating from high school, I only applied to one university. I'd never been to California. I'd never set foot on this campus. But the only university I applied to was Cal State Long Beach. Now, if my students did that today, I would tell them, that's a really risky, reckless, stupid idea. But that's the decision I made. You see, in my junior year of high school, I had the opportunity to participate in the Virginia All-State Chorus. And the guest conductor that year was a man named Frank Pooler. Some of you know him. He was charismatic. He was dynamic. And for a Virginia boy, he was Hollywood cool. He had recently helped launch the career of Richard and Karen Carpenter, and he was the director of choral studies here at Cal State Long Beach. So Cal State Long Beach was where I would be going to college. You see, at that time, I aspired to be the next Billy Joel. Okay, if I'm going to be truly honest, at that time, I aspired to be the next Barry Manilow. And I dreamed of following the footsteps of Richard Karen Carpenter and launching my singing career here at Long Beach State just as they did. And Frank Pooler was the man to help me do that. But as the saying goes, life happens while you're busy making other plans. During my tenure here, Mr. Pooler opened the world of choral and vocal music to me. I learned choral arranging. I was given the opportunity to conduct choirs of my peers, and I was exposed to great choral vocal music from around the world. And then one day I realized I had discovered my passion. As much as I aspired to be a singer, I discovered that my true passion was to share my love of music and to teach and inspire young people through music and the arts. And that is what I have had the privilege of doing for the last 30 years. Thank you. Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, wrote a sequel book called The 8th Habit. Covey shares in this book the 8th habit is to find your voice and to inspire others to find their voice. As a singer, that really speaks to me. To find your voice means to find your passion. And if you stay true to that passion, you will succeed. Now, success may not end up being what you think it is sitting here today, but staying true to your passion will lead you on an amazing journey to your success. But as Covey states, it's not only important to find and be true to your passion, but to truly be successful, you must use that passion, that gift, once you discover it, to help others find their passion. While giving the commencement address at Howard University in 2007, Oprah Winfrey stated, you cannot continue to succeed in the world or have a fulfilling life in the world unless you choose to use your life in the service somehow to others and give back what you've been given. That's how you keep it, that's how you get it, and that's how you grow it. Find your voice and inspire others to find their voice. Dedication. In the book The Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell puts forth the premise to be an expert in any field requires a devotion to one's art or to one's craft for at least 10,000 hours. Gladwell goes on to state that close analysis of success stories proves that the element of innate talent plays a lesser role in achieving expert status than one might think. In his research, he did not find any naturals or prodigies who effortlessly mastered their instrument. Neither did he find ordinary people who worked harder than anyone else that did not make it to the top of their craft. He goes on to give examples like the Beatles, who before making it big, logged in more than 10,000 hours of playing time on stage in 4 years, while similar bands only had a fraction of that experience. Or Bill Gates, who through serendipitous opportunities had logged in more than 10,000 hours of programming by the time he dropped out of Harvard in his first year, thereby giving him enormous advantage over other computer technology developers at that time. So what does it take to be the best? It seems to me that being the best requires us to do what we have known all along: be dedicated, be hardworking, put in our 10,000 hours. Perseverance. I can't tell you how many times in my life I have been told, it can't be done. In 1987, when I proposed the idea of creating the Orange County School of the Arts, OCSA as we call it, many of my colleagues dismissed the idea as foolish and unsustainable. You see, at that time, much like the last few years, the economy was in a free fall. Schools were cutting arts programs, not creating them. Surprisingly, that worked to my advantage. As other schools and school districts cut their art programs, the Orange County School of the Arts became the only viable school choice for those students passionate about the arts. And OCSA flourished. Throughout OCSA's 26-year history, there have been defining moments where sheer perseverance kept the school in business. Maya Angelou is quoted as saying, "You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter those defeats, so you know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it." And Randy Pausch, in the last lecture, stated, "The brick walls are there for a reason. The brick walls are there not to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show the world how badly we want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They're there to stop the other people." Passion, dedication, perseverance, and finally vision. There's a quote by a German philosopher, Arthur Schopenhauer, that really speaks to me, and I believe it succinctly defines what separates the good from the great. And 30 years from now, if you remember one quote, I can't remember George Lucas, I don't know why you'd remember mine, but if you can remember one quote, this would be the one I encourage you to carry with you. And that is, talent is hitting a target no one else can hit. Vision is hitting a target no one else can see. The world is changing so rapidly. Throughout your careers, you will be employed in jobs that likely don't even exist yet. In fact, many of you sitting here today will be creating those new jobs, those new industries of the future. I believe the future belongs to those who have the talent to hit a target no one else can hit. But more importantly, I believe the future belongs to those who have the vision to hit a target no one else can yet see. Class of 2013, I congratulate you on this tremendous accomplishment. And as you begin the next chapter in this journey, I wish you passion, dedication, perseverance, and vision. Thank you. Go Beach.